In 1932, a nation with one of the most powerful militaries in the world declared war. Machine guns were deployed. Soldiers were sent to the front lines. And after weeks of fighting, that nation retreated in complete defeat. Their enemy wasn't a rival army. It wasn't a rebellion. It was birds. Tens of thousands of birds. This is the true story of the time Australia went to war with emus, and lost. To understand how this happened, you have to go back to the years right after World War I. The Australian government had promised land in Western Australia to thousands of returning soldiers, encouraging them to become farmers. It was meant to be a fresh start, clear some land, plant wheat, build a new life. But nobody accounted for the emus. Emus are massive flightless birds, native to Australia, standing up to 6 feet tall and capable of running over 30 miles per hour. Every year, after breeding season, tens of thousands of emus migrate inland toward the coast in search of water and food. And in 1932, their migration path ran directly through the newly established wheat farms of Western Australia. By October of that year, roughly 20,000 emus had descended on the farmland. They trampled fences, ate through crops, and left the soldier farmers facing financial ruin during the middle of the Great Depression, when every bushel of wheat mattered. Desperate, a group of farmers appealed directly to the Australian Minister of Defence, Sir George Pearce. Their request was almost unbelievable. They asked for machine guns. And remarkably, the government agreed. The reasoning wasn't purely about pest control either. Some accounts suggest officials saw this as good publicity, a chance to show off military hardware and give soldiers target practice, while also framing it as support for struggling veteran farmers. Whatever the motivation, the plan moved forward quickly. In November 1932, the Royal Australian Artillery deployed a small team led by Major Gordon Meredith, armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Their mission: eliminate the emu threat once and for all. The operation began on November 2, 1932, and almost immediately, things went wrong. The first encounter involved roughly 50 emus spotted near a local settlement. Soldiers opened fire, but the range was too far, and the birds scattered before it. A few days later, the military tried a new strategy. Around 1,000 emus were spotted gathered near a dam. Soldiers waited for the birds to get closer, hoping for a concentrated, effective strike. But just as they opened fire, the gun jammed after only 12 birds were killed. The rest of the flock scattered in every direction, and by the time the gun was working again, they were gone. This became the pattern for the entire campaign. Emus, it turned out, were incredibly difficult targets. They could run in unpredictable zigzag patterns at high speed. They didn't panic and flee in a single group like many animals. They'd split into small scattered groups, making a machine gun, a weapon designed for concentrated, close-range combat, almost useless. One soldier later observed that the emus seemed to have their own war tactics, with each small group appearing to have a leader that watched for danger while the others fed. Major Meredith even tried mounting a machine gun on the back of a truck, hoping to chase down the birds directly. But the terrain was too rough, and the truck couldn't keep up. At one point, an emu reportedly ran straight into the moving vehicle, causing the gunner to lose control of his aim entirely as the truck swerved. By November 8, 6 days into the operation, the military had fired approximately 2,500 rounds of ammunition. The official casualty count for emus was somewhere between 50 and 200 birds killed, a tiny fraction of the estimated 20,000 in the area. The mission was quietly called off. News of the failed operation reached the Australian Parliament, and it became a source of significant embarrassment. One member of Parliament reportedly joked that if a medal were to be struck for this war, the emus deserved it, since they had won every round so far. Despite the humiliation, the farmers' problem hadn't gone away. Just a few weeks later, in early December 1932, Major Meredith and his team were sent back out for a second attempt. This time, they were slightly more effective, reportedly killing on average around 100 emus per week. By the time the operation ended in mid-December, the military claimed roughly 986 emus killed, with some additional birds dying later from injuries. But compared to the 20,000 emus originally estimated in the region, and the thousands of rounds of ammunition used, the results were still widely regarded as underwhelming. Even Major Meredith's own after-action report grudgingly complimented the emus, describing their ability to withstand gunfire and comparing their resilience to that of tanks. After the second attempt, the Australian government officially abandoned the use of military force against the emus. Instead, they shifted to a bounty system, paying local farmers and hunters for each emu killed. This approach proved far more effective, and over the following months, tens of thousands of emus were culled through more traditional, localized methods. Farmers also began constructing emu-proof fencing, some stretches of which are still in use in modified forms today, to help prevent future crop invasions. But it's the original military operation that captured the public imagination and earned its now famous nickname, the Great Emu War. To this day, the Great Emu War is taught as a light-hearted but very real example of military overconfidence, and it's frequently cited in pop culture, memes, and even academic discussions about asymmetric warfare, where a technologically superior force struggles against a highly adaptable, unpredictable opponent. Australia sent trained soldiers, machine guns, and thousands of rounds of ammunition against birds, and by most measures, came away having accomplished very little. So the next time someone tells you an animal doesn't stand a chance against modern weapons, just remember, in 1932, the emus of Western Australia didn't just survive a war. In the eyes of history, they won it.